Welcome to Roland's Travels. It's Roland here. Who else could it be? Well, I'm at Wardour Castle in Wiltshire, and just geographically, for your map reference, it's about 15 miles west of Salisbury. It lies in the parishes, or on the boundary of the parishes of Tisbury and Donhead St Andrew. Postally it comes under Tisbury. It's English heritage property, so English heritage members, of course, you can come in for absolutely nothing. Your membership fee covers that. It's an amazing ruin. It was built in the 1390s, was this castle. It was built on land originally owned by the St Martin family, which we'll talk more about the building of it in a moment. And first of all, though, we're just going to take a look at the grotto. Now, the grotto was a later addition. After the castle was ruined and the family had built a new home, they used this as their garden, and the castle became, if you like, a big garden ornament, a feature of it, and they built the grotto for their amusement. So we'll take a look at the grotto. It's something that's worth a look at. In fact, you can walk through it, so let's go and do that, shall we? Must have been nice on a very hot summer's day just to come and sit in here, because it would have that lovely coolness that you get within stonework, within a cave, in fact. And out we come, and as you can see, we can take a good look at the castle as well. So the owners, after the castle was ruined and developed this as gardens, would have enjoyed very much being able to show this off to their visitors. It was in 1392 approximately that Richard II granted permission for the castle to be built. That's something you had to do. You couldn't just build a castle because they would view that as potentially as treason against the king, that you're building up fortifications in rebellion. On the front wall, you can see above the doorway there is a statue of Jesus, and underneath is the coat of arms. So let's enter the castle, take a look around and see what we can find. Just on the outside there's that little alcove with the beautiful scallop inside. So here we are, we're inside the castle now. Let's just take a look. Just have a look at the wonderful stonework as you come into the castle. And the information boards are helpful. You can also listen to a commentary, and it's done in a sort of drama way, which is nice. And you can have a little gadget from the office as you come into the castle and play the commentary at each of those points that you see the headphone sign. Look at the work, stonework that's gone into this. Wonderful masonry, great craft in being able to carve stone in such a way to create the shapes, the roundness, all done by hammer and chisel. Amazing, isn't it? I always like the roof work as well, how those stones all fit in and stay secure for all these hundreds of years. Look how thick the walls are through the window opening there. It was actually, the land was acquired by John. He was the 5th Baron. That's John Lovell. It gives rise to the Wiltshire village name of Upton Lovell. And also in Oxfordshire there is Minster Lovell, named after the very John Lovell, the 5th Baron. Of course, we all need water to drink, and every castle needed a well. And here we are, the well for Wardour Castle. The Lovell family forfeited the castle to Henry VI, and it was held by the crown until 1461. It did pass backwards and forwards between the crown and the Lovells for many years. This really is an excellent castle to explore and wander around and see all the various features. you can still see where many of the archways were. That's a beautiful doorway out of the courtyard. Beautiful staircase. And look at the feature of the ornate work around it. In 1547, the Arundel family acquired the castle. It actually was besieged. In 1643, during the Civil War, Thomas Arundel, he went to war, leaving his 60-year-old wife and servants who had to defend the castle. And they did a remarkable job in keeping the enemy at bay. But the second siege of that year saw the castle battered into submission. Who were the Arundels? Well, they were an ancient family from Cornwall, a prominent one from that area. Well before the Civil War, the castle was confiscated when Sir Thomas Arundel, he was a staunch Roman Catholic, he was executed for treason in 1552, so a lot of history around this place. In 1570, however, it was repurchased by his son Sir Matthew Arundel. He altered the castle, enlarged the windows, put in the classical doorways that we could see, and various little niches were added around the castle. So we're standing now in the Great Hall. Every castle and eventually manor houses, later on great houses, always had a great hall where they could entertain people to show off their wealth. Again, look at the ornate work around that doorway. That no doubt was the work of Sir Matthew Arundel. He liked doing that. Of course, castles fell out of favour once the gunpowder became efficient and able to blow them up. Really became pointless then. And as we get higher through the building, and we can climb quite a few floors, we get some wonderful views along the way. We can certainly get a feel for how grand this castle was in its heyday. So we're now in the kitchen, place of hard work for those poor servants having prepared the food, be on beck and call for every time their master or mistress wanted to be fed or some task to be done. And they had a pretty hard life. So again, we have plenty of stairs to climb. Now when you visit the castle, do be careful, especially on the spiral staircases, because there is, as you can see here, not much width on one side, so you really do need to stick to one side. Try and avoid trying to pass anyone on the staircase. Take your time and you'll be fine. And here it divides left and right, so let's take a look first of all at what we find on our left. Nice fireplace there. And of course many of the castles would have had panelled walls or wall hangings that would have made them much warmer looking, more cosy than you see them today. That's why people had tapestries to cover the walls and to help keep them warmer. With a wonderful fireplace, big chimney there. There's lots of little things like that board there for the children to have a go at, which is a nice feature that English Heritage have done here at Wardour Castle. Children enjoy a little game as they go around, learning about the castle, having fun. So this was lodgings for guests to stay and to enjoy the hospitality of their host at the time. Would have been a nice cosy room, no doubt. That was possibly a garderobe. That's the toilet in modern English. You can just hear the voice in the background from the little machines that you can listen to a commentary on. And a great view over the lake out towards New Wardour Castle. Get a better view in a little while of that. Climbing higher. And so there's a sign here for New Wardour Castle. Take a look at that. Pause your video a moment. Now, New Wardour Castle, still in existence today. It has been used for a number of things over the years. At one time, even a school. Took great effort, didn't it, to put all this stone into place. Had to be quarried, brought here, and then of course assembled into a wonderful castle. Just take a look through the window and you can see what we should call New Wardour Castle. I'll zoom in on that for you a little bit so you can get a bit better view of it. Now these stairs come to an end, there's no floor. Again, as we pass through the archway, did you notice the wonderful work in the stonework above the arch? Doorways to each of the rooms that used to stand there. Let's go through this doorway. It's quite a large space, or would have been a large space. The wall's been blown away there, gone. More information for children to have a go at. Looking back towards the entranceway there and the office and entryway for the property. This is the great chamber here. Another place where food and wine could be consumed. Fine herringbone work, the back of what would have been the fireplace. That's remains of what would have been another staircase, and now we've got another one going up that direction too. Let's take a look along here. And now we come out of the castle now, we've done the tour, seen everything inside. We'll just take a look at the outside. A lovely view of the lake. There's quite a few seats around, so if you want to take your time, you're welcome to do that and have a sit down. A bit of a story there how the castle fell during the Civil War. Now this information board, if you pause it, tells us what happened in 1763. So have a read. Hope you enjoy that. Now this building at the bottom of the garden is used for weddings. So take a look inside. Anybody who's thinking of getting married could use this small space to have their wedding ceremony. And of course they've got fabulous photographic opportunities in the grounds of the castle too. There's also a little bit of history on the boards behind for you to read. Underneath this building are the toilets. For those who are wheelchair users, you'd have to go outside through the gates, the entrance gates, and then round the roadway to reach them, because it's quite a steep flight of stairs down from the side of this building. And we look out back at the castles. That's the view you get whilst you're getting married. Imagine the photo opportunities on that lawn. Now, there are some privies left. A privy? Yes, a toilet. Let's go and take a look at the old toilets that the family used in the 1700s onwards. Surely everybody likes to see a privy. And here we are. Are you ready to look? Keep the camera upwards till now, then we'll look down and find... Yes, the privy. Not in use today, I hasten. So we'll just go around the castle, take a final look at the outside of this building. Then we've got a little treat for you at the end of this video, so don't go away. Certainly was a gorgeous day. A bit windy, as you can hear over on the microphone. Even though it's muffled, it's still picking up some wind noise because it was quite strong. Just walk around. Just imagine that in its heyday. Fantastic castle. Would have been whitewashed when built as well, so it would have stood out against the landscape. And this certainly is a beautiful area of Wiltshire as you drive to Wardour Castle, taking the views of the valleys and the wonderful woodland areas. But as I mentioned at the outset, be very careful of your sat-nav. It could well take you down some lanes where there are no passing places, and if you meet any traffic, it's going to be difficult, to say the least. Certainly don't try with any motorhomes or cars with caravans. Even the best road to Wardour Castle isn't really suitable for anything too large, so take a look at your map before you make the journey and don't rely on your sat-nav. Again, beautiful. Look at that corner work on the top of the castle there. And what is nice too is the fact it's got all the trees around it, and a little bit of a garden, if you like, as well. Makes it, because it was originally, after the destruction of it, turned into a garden. And have a look at these beautiful plants coming up now that we see fairly close to the entranceway. When we were leaving the castle, we were told there actually is an old gateway a little further out behind the castle, up through the woods. So we decided to take a walk and find that. So let's have a look at that old gateway, which most people will miss because it's just off the beaten track, literally, from the castle. You can start to see it coming up now. So this would have been a wall around the castle with a gateway inside it. So it's quite deep and defensive as well. So it wasn't just the castle that you've seen today, but obviously there were defensive walls, which most have long gone. There's just little sections left now, and this is one of those sections. So we'll go underneath it and take a look and see just how well this thing was built. Just look at this. Got a bit of sun glare at the moment, but we'll get a shot from the other side as well for you. So this would kind of been the thickness of the castle walls, this particular point. Check out that floor as well. Turn around and have a look from the other side. Wardour Castle is to our left and further on. But amazing that that is still there today, isn't it? And that's the roof work again inside this gateway. tremendous stonework that's been done. Well, we're outside the car park area now of Wardour Castle. That's the room where the weddings are held, on the first floor there. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please make sure you subscribe before you go. If you've enjoyed it as well, give us a thumbs up. That always helps the algorithm, as they call it on YouTube, for people to find us. So thank you very much for watching. Take care, everybody. Hope to see you in the next video.